process. The first step is celebrate what you got done. Okay? And I know that sounds so simplistic and maybe a waste of time, but I promise you it isn't. Because those goals aren't what's going to make you happy. The goals will make you feel good for a little while. What makes you happy is progress. Progress equals happiness. So you need to make sure you acknowledge your progress, even if it's just a little bit. So that's step one. You take a look at the previous week. What did I get done? And you celebrate what you got done. Just pat yourself on the back. Go buy yourself a candy bar, whatever it is, to celebrate that you got something done. So that's number one. Because you're going to get your nose bloody. You're going to get your... Can't use the... Okay.
You already made it explicit.
All right. You're going to get your butt kicked. I promise you it's going to happen. Okay, so when it does, if you've celebrated your progress, you'll get through it because you've maintained that high level of positive energy. So celebrate the progress. Second thing I'm going to highly recommend you do, give yourself the gift, if you don't already, of journaling for 5 minutes. Journal your magic moments, okay? Especially if you have children, okay? Just write down what was awesome that happened the week before, okay? Because you're going to forget, okay? And, for example, I did this, and Tony Robbins taught me about this. I spent 20 years with Tony Robbins, following him around the planet, and I journaled magic moments with my kids, and I didn't do it, I wish I'd have done it consistently. I did it intermittently, but I found these journals, and my daughter's 26 now, my son's 22, and we went through them, and we laughed, we teared up, and it was just beautiful. Give yourself that gift. 5 minutes a week, okay? Just write down what was awesome. Because what that does is, first of all, you won't forget, number one. Number two, it will get you in the frame of mind to create more of them the next week, okay? So give yourself that gift. So that's number two. Number three, you must create a thinking list. Now, what I mean by this, I wish I'd have thought to bring mine with me. You want to list everything that's important in your life. On mine, I've got my wife Tiffany, my son Miles, my daughter Alex, my brother Al, my brother Ed, my brother Kevin, and then all my friends. I've got like 50 names there. So every week, I look at those names. Is there somebody I need to touch? Is there someone I need to send some love out to or just reach out to? Nobody gets forgotten. That's number one. Then I've got every area of my life that's important. I've got that litigation support company I was talking about. So I've got, website development, IT, accounting, sales, marketing. Every piece of that business I have listed. So if you guys have day jobs, list your core business and every piece of that business, okay? Then your new multifamily business, your real estate business, list every piece. Study, evaluate deals, create relationships, go out and look at property. Whatever it is, list every important area that you need to think about. What this does is it makes sure that you have balance, okay? And it causes you to not lose sight or let anything lag behind. Now, I've got my health there. I will get cut up. I do these declarations too. Now that has probably been there longer than it should because I'm not cut up yet. But you want to put stuff like that. I'm going to lift weights, or I'm going to read a good book for 30 minutes a day. Or these are the things that are on mine. I'm trying to think what's on mine. I wish I'd remember throwing it. Do some declarations, and you revisit that every week so you stay aligned and enthused and passionate about what you're doing. And nothing gets left behind. Then come up with what you're going to do that week. Come up with your task list, okay? That's the next step. Come up with your tasks. Then you've got to block the time. And that's the secret to this, is you block the time. So from 6 to 7, you're studying. From 7 to 8, you're with your spouse or your children. From 8 to 9, you're reading, whatever it is. And you book your distraction time too. Whatever distracts you, Facebook, Netflix, whatever, you book it. But you book your time even with your family. And I will tell you, my biggest regret in life is I'd come home to that $10 million house on the beach and I'd play with my kids, this testament to my ego that I built to prove to the world I was good enough. And I'd play with my kids, but I was distracted. I'd be distracted. That's my biggest regret in life. I mean, you ask my kids, they'll say I was a great dad, but I didn't live up to my own standards. And I don't want that for you. And I will tell you, your child or your spouse would rather have 30 minutes of your focus and your presence and your total presence there than an hour of distraction. So if you block the time and you've taken the time to look at your whole list of important items, nothing gets left behind. Does that make sense? So you don't have to worry. If you put the phone down, you know you've thought of everything. Give yourself that gift. I'm telling you, that's how you will be more effective. If you block out an hour to do something, and you're only focused on that in that hour, you're not distracted, you're getting it done, this stuff really works. Now you will fall off the wagon. I promise you, life will get in the way. Don't beat yourself up when it happens, just get back on it, okay? And that really helps people be more effective. One last thing. When I built this 10,000 square foot house, shortly after I finished it, I'm floating in the pool at night, and I'm looking up at this thing, waterfall coming out of the second floor, you know, the beach on one side, the boats on the back side, and I'm floating in this thing. The pool changes colors at night. It had fiber optics. And I'm looking up at this house. I'm by myself, warm water. I remember it distinctly, and I was depressed. This was like 2 or 3 months after I completed construction. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I reached this dream that I've had for 20 years to have this house. I should be excited and happy. When I look back at it, I realized there were 2 things going on. One was never achieve a big goal without having other goals lined up, okay? Like the good book says, without a vision, the people perish. I didn't have a vision for the future. I didn't know what I was going to do next. So that was one piece. But the second piece, which is more important, which I really want to share with you guys, is there's a big difference between success and fulfillment. Tony Robbins calls it the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Now, I have met and interviewed billionaires. I've interviewed multi-millionaires that are very successful by society's view financially, but they are miserable. This was 2000 when this happened, that I finished this house, and thank God I got introduced to Tony and saw that he does his basket brigade. He's fed millions of families for the holidays. He tells a story about that. So I decided that year to feed 5 families. And the 3rd family changed my life. I went up and we got these baskets of food, and we delivered these baskets of food. And this lady had 5 kids. She came out and started crying when she saw the food. Her children came out and started crying, and I started crying, and I was hooked. And I'm blessed to say that these last 17 years we've fed 60,000 children for the holidays. We've done thousands of backpacks filled with school supplies. Even up in here into Tampa, and we've done thousands of teddy bears to local police departments for their officers to keep in their cars when they encounter a child that's been traumatized. Now, you don't have to do anything that grandiose, but you must incorporate giving back into your life, because success without that isn't success, okay? Give yourself that gift because it adds a richness to your life that you must have. And as you guys all know this, what you give back. I promise you it's the truth. You give love, you get love back. You give happiness, you get happiness back. You give money, you get money back. You give of yourself, it always comes back to you. But I know everyone in this room is focused on financial success. Make sure you incorporate that piece into your life. Give yourself that gift because, like I said, it's not true success without it. Thanks for having me up here.
Guys, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
I have to apologize because I was distracted.
Okay.
And I was going to have everybody talk, and I don't want to ruin the energy. I don't know what kind of time.
I'm good.
You're good. So it's okay if we do a little intro here now?
Do a little what?
A little intro with the audience?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, good. Are you guys comfortable doing that right now? Because everybody's here for a reason. Like, we've got guys that want money, that buy houses, that buy apartments, that construct. And I think that this is one of the benefits of trying to have these types of events. And then, is that something you guys want to do right now?
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to lose the energy that was created with Rod. Is that okay?